makers, this is Rahul Tyagi, and in this video I'm going to talk about for all function in detail. We will talk about when we can use for all and why we should use for all function in depth, and we will also discuss about few use cases and limitations of this function. So in case you have still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe and let's get started. So in powerapps, for all function basically helps to evaluate the formula and perform actions for all the records in a table. In simple words, for all function basically evaluates some functionality on each row of a particular table collection or a database. So let's check it out. What is the syntax of using this function? So here is the syntax for using for all function. In this for all function, we need to pass two parameters. One is table and second is formula. So table is basically the table or a collection that contains the record that needs to be iterated, and formula is the formula that will be applied when the each record is iterated. So this is the simple syntax for using for all function. So now let's discuss about few use cases and use this for all function in different scenarios. So let's discuss the first use case. In this use case, basically I have a collection with name candidates. You can see on the left hand side, and in that candidate collection, I have three parameters. That is, first one is first name, second is last name, and third is work experience. So my requirement is like I need to iterate this complete collection and I need to concatenate first name and last name. So let's see how we can do with the help of for all function. So on right hand side in green you can see I have written a syntax for the for all function. So I will type in for all, then I will start the bracket and then I will pass the collection name. And in my case the collection name is candidate. So I have marked in red. So then I will put comma and after that I need to pass the formula. So in formula what I need to basically do, I need to do the concatenation of first name and last name. That's why I've written this record dot first name and this record dot last name. So once I execute this function, it will iterate the complete candidate collection. And once the during the time of iteration of this candidate collection, it will also concatenate the first name and last name. On right hand side, you can see in the value section, this is basically the output of this function. So output of this function is Rahul Tyagi, Neha Sharma and Atul Malik. So what it has done, it has basically concatenated the first name and last name. So let's discuss the second use case for using for all function. So this is the second use case for using the for all function. So in this use case, I have a SharePoint list in which I need to use Power Apps for bulk updating the records in the SharePoint list. So I will be using for all and patch function, and combination of these two functions will help me to achieve this requirement. So you can see I have used for all then call employees. Call employees is basically, when we use for all, first thing that we need to pass is the name of the collection. In my case, the name of the collection is call employees. So I have passed the collection name call employees, comma. Then the second thing that we need to pass as per the syntax is the formula. So in formula, I will basically mention the patch function. And inside this patch function, I have passed EMP. EMP is basically the name of the SharePoint list, or you can say a data source, then comma, and in that EMP I have basically done the mapping. So they in EMP, that is a SharePoint list, have two columns, title and last name. So title I have passed the iterated record first name, and in last name I have passed the iterated record last name. So this will basically iterate the complete record, and patch will basically update those records or insert those records in SharePoint. So this is how we can use for all and patch function together. So this is the another use case of using for all function. So let's discuss about some limitations and considerations of these functions now. As we know, like for all function comes with tremendous capabilities, but there are always limitations and consideration that we need to consider for all function. So Limitations for all function are it is not supported in data connections that don't offer delegation. This is the first limitation for using for all function. And the second limitation is basically when we are using the complex formula within for all, so it can also impact the app responsiveness. So let's talk about the few considerations for using for all function. So ensure that your data source supports delegation when you are using for all for large data set to avoid the performance issues. And the second consideration is optimize your formula to strike a balance between functionality and performance. So these are the limitations and considerations for using for all function. So in case you like this video, do like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is Rahul M365. Thank you.